So I recorded a video, like a whiteboard video, and it turns out the my microphone wasn't like clicked on my recording software. I was making a joke with myself. I was like, man, I wonder if I could call up like the FBI agent, or you know, I mean, I don't use Microsoft Windows, so I hear apparently they it's like every 5 seconds it takes a picture or something. I don't know. You probably hit up Bill Gates and like, you know, like, hey, can I get that recording? You know, just like if you just passively recording my mic. Anyway, fuck it. I'll probably redo it if I can work up the volatile energy. Anyway, getting on to this video. So, technology essentially is related to Mercury, which is related to the throat and the nervous system. We have the nervous system, which is lower, like etheric related organ part in the body, and then we have the brain, which is the higher etheric part. The brain is more related to light and dark, the light and the dark element, which is essentially pure energy and pure nothingness. So technology is related to the throat and to some extent, you know, the brain. So going on, technology is basically calling in things related to the throat and the head. Again, if you have a phone has telekinetic powers. I don't know what the word is. Basically, being able to like video chat someone is being able to transmit your voice and your image, your face. You know, so telekinetic sight and telekinetic voice. Literally, that's what it is. You're doing the same thing that a magician would do, you know, through their mind. You're just doing it through a phone. It's just a technology that replicates the exact same way that we, you know, do it through our brains, using radio waves to transmit, you know, some kind of pressure frequency that then transmits into the water. The water receives it. Mercury, being a metallic water, also receives these electromagnetic frequency waves. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about is that as technology continues and, you know, gets better and better, what will happen is that what is already happening is that essentially the imagination is becoming more and more real. If you look at 3D printing, for example, 3D printing allows you to create a three-dimensional object in a, you know, a, what do you call it, a program like Blender, and then to print the object into physical reality. So you're basically creating something on a computer and then, you know, synthesizing it into reality. I do look forward to when we have taste, touch, and smell, you know, really highly developed for electronic computer interfaces that you plug in with like a USB cable. But yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is that pretty much technology is just satisfying like our imaginations and desires, and the more and more we go through things, you know, technology, you'll be able to like biochemically, I mean, technically you already can, really, I'm going to be honest, you can like biochemically alter yourself to stimulate any faculty. You know, if it's you want to increase your eyeballs, you know, your sight and vision and all that, you just take it like a chemical that increases your eyes. You know, the old school way of doing this is taking a bunch of animal eyes and putting in alcohol. Then of course scientists advanced the process and made a thing where they would extract a alkaloid or whatever from herbs, or, you know, maybe eyeballs again if they were ballsy enough, and made a chemical. It's the same thing with testosterone. When they originally synthesized it from testicles, people in the past would just eat testicles or soak it in wine or alcohol, and then, you know, enhance the testosterone that way. Then scientists made it out of testicles, bull testicles probably, and then they synthesized it out of a plant. I forget which one again. So yeah, genetic engineering will happen. I mean, it already did happen if you kind of clued into everything. Chemical alterations, etc. It's like, what do you want to do? do you have, and then do you have the energy for it? And of course, I think in the future, energy will be like, you'll kind of get money for existing, depending of course the country you live in, the system you use, but it's kind of like you'll just get like cryptocurrency for existing, or for like, you know, commenting on videos or doing some kind of government slave task, some really menial low-level task. You'll just get like tiny amounts of like, you know, universal credit cryptos, which you can then use to buy, you know, Chinese manufactured super steroids that, you know, you eat in a pill form or like a patch form that dissolves on your skin, and you get jacked doing that. And then, I don't know, somehow you feed the Google Beast system, which, you know, by filming videos of you getting jacked, and then because you're kind of giving it like information, you're giving it like creativity, and it feeds off creativity. It wants some kind of energy that, you know, it doesn't have, or I don't know, maybe it like figures creativity out and it just doesn't really need humans, and maybe it's kind enough to allow humans to exist and to let souls develop, or, you know, takes on the role of God, I don't know, something like that. But more important thing is to talk about, you will be able to choose what you want to do. I think that's a good thing. I think technology is ultimately good, of course, if the people making it is good. You know, bad technology is made by bad people. Bad politics is made by bad people, which is bad politicians. You know, pretty much every politician is bad, because you kind of have to be a little fucked up to be into politics, but the point still stands. It's society and reality is more or less made by people, at least in this era, and definitely in the next era that we're transitioning into, or maybe already have, I don't know. I still think we transitioned into the blue era, you know, the third eye chakra era, and we're still, the last transition is the purple era, the crown chakra era, and then we hit like the singularity, which is like the white era, which is kind of like everything in one. So, you know, maybe in like, I don't know, 30 years, because everything speeds up, something like that. We hit the light blue era when we had like phone technology, radio waves, debatably, when you want to think about that. But yeah, like, what do you want to do in the future? You'll be able to make whatever you want. You'll be able to, you know, do whatever you want. Who knows, maybe we'll be able to like synthesize world, you know, synthesize so much earth element that you can create like some world, or work with alternate dimensions. And I don't know, you know, what I'm trying to say is like things is pretty much endless, and you will be able to choose, and technology is essentially the tool to bring the imagination into reality. You know, do you want to make a certain design, and then you want to endlessly print it and endlessly create it? That's really what, you know, technology is doing. You don't have to use so much energy to, like, you know, chisel out and saw and, you know, create whatever table out of woodwork. You just synthesize it. You just synthesize the experience. That's kind of where I see we're heading. It'll take like 60 years to really get there. But at least in the next like 10 to 30, we'll have some kind of full dive VR, or some kind of really good VR, where it's like you just synthesize whatever dream you want, whatever, you know, game, like randomly generated. You know, as things get better, you just randomly generate realities and such like that, and then eventually it'll be more physical as matter becomes cheaper and energy becomes cheaper. You just synthesize whatever reality you want. You know, you get a piece of land and you just create whatever you want on it, and until we get to that next dimensional level where you literally go into another dimension physically, and you know, you just become God within that dimension. through the use of currently it's through the use of technology, because we live in a technological era. In the past it would be through the use of magic. I still believe that we can get there through magic. I think it's just we've just got to practice a lot, and it's just going to be a bit slower probably, but hopefully we can still do that. But ultimately, once we hit that singularity point, yeah, we can kind of create whatever world we want through technology. Anyway, that's all for this one. Goodbye.